Well, India had sealed their qualification for the AFC Asian Cup before their final match against Hong Kong itself, thanks to results that came beforehand. But India were indeed vying for that top spot in Group D, and thanks to that, they have actually managed to, qualify unbeaten for the Asian Cup. Three games, they've won all three. They finished on top of their group, which is Group D, with 9 points. So, very well done to Team India. I'm talking, of course, of the Blue Tigers, the football team, not the cricket team, in case any of y'all are wondering. So, the cricket stream is happening elsewhere. You can join both streams, just use two different devices. Anyway, we are here to talk about the Indian football match that just concluded. India 4, Hong Kong nil. As comprehensive a win as they come, India indeed did save their best showing for the end against the team that was arguably the strongest in their group. Because remember, Hong Kong had won both games just like India had prior to this match, and Hong Kong also had a better goal difference due to the fact that they had scored an extra goal. So there were many who expected that the Hong Kong team would, in fact, present quite the challenge to the Indians. In the end, India kind of blew them away, and that was despite actually resting a few key players, giving some youngsters a go, and even later on in the game, Igor Stimac, the head coach, was not at all hesitant when it came to actually, using his substitutes, because there were quite a few substitutions made. Yes, granted, a few of them were due to the fact that there was, a player or two who was on a yellow card, so didn't really want to risk that, but still, as comprehensive and as easy a win as India have had through the campaign. Alan, to answer your question, we don't quite know when the Asia Cup will be, because it was supposed to be in 2023, I'm so sorry, 2023, but China were hosting it. They've pulled out from hosting it, saying that due to the COVID situation, won't be possible for them. So the tournament has been postponed, but no new date has been announced. Yes, Sankalp, we have two lives going on together because both the Indian cricket team and the Indian football team both ended up finishing their match at pretty much the same time. So yes, we are going live from two separate locations. You can join both, just use two different devices and you'll be able to catch up with everything that's happening, and of course chat along with us, which you know for a fact that we absolutely love. So anyway, back to the game which I'm discussing, which is of course India 4, Hong Kong nil. One of the major things which I was pointing out before the game is that more often than not, India are too reliant on Sunil Chhetri for goals. And he did get on the score sheet today. He scored India's second, but the heartwarming thing and the best thing to see was that India had four different goal scorers for those four goals. Now, obviously, if we're speaking of heartwarming, it's hard not to talk about the man who scored India's first goal, and that, of course, was Anwar Ali. Now, for those of you who don't quite know, Anwar Ali, it was discovered that he had a heart problem which actually could have ended his career before it really even began. In the end, he almost did retire but chose instead to stick at it. Is now playing for the national team, and he also scored the goal here. So, as far as stories go, that nothing gets perhaps more heartwarming than that. The fact is that he could have been retired, instead he chose not to, and he's now representing his country. Very, very big deal for him, and a very good finish as well. Yes, the ball fell very kindly to him, but that takes nothing away from the finish. It was a very cleanly hit shot, and of course, they deserve that lead. The Sunil Chhetri goal was a very well worked one, because Jackson Singh, who everyone would know was the one person who scored India's first ever goal in any FIFA related tournament, because he scored India's equalizer against Colombia in the 2017 Under-17 World Cup, which was happening in India. So if you remember, that guy he was playing today in midfield, and he took a free kick, picked out Chhetri in acres of space, and of course Chhetri, well, we know that he's a class apart when it comes to strikers, especially in this country, so he was not missing from there. So fun fact with Chhetri, by the way, he ended up, getting his 84th international goal. That draws him level with a man who most football aficionados would be very familiar with, Hungarian great Ferenc Puskás. Remember that Puskás was someone who scored 84 goals in 85 games. Chhetri has now indeed broken that, equaled that record. He's not broken it yet. I'm sure he will break it in due course, such as his prolific, instincts in front of goal, especially when it comes to Team India, that he's going to break that soon enough. Third and fourth goals came, of course, after the break, and we know for a fact that, it was raining, it was pelting down hard in Kolkata, but, of course, football is such a game that you can very easily play it in the rain, and the players, in fact, kind of looked up for it even then. You could see very clearly that, with the raft of substitutions that was going on, the players were keen to get on the, they were keen to get up there, get their name on the score sheet, and, of course, the goal came, and what was actually very pleasing to see as well is that the third goal came from Manveer Singh, who of course, as we know, number 9, a striker, is someone who is sometimes known to be a bit inconsistent. Even today, he did at times look like he was going to waste a couple of chances, but he then got that goal, decent enough finish. Very happy for him. He clearly seemed relieved to actually get off to get that goal, get that goal there as well, because obviously you note for a fact that with Chetri at 37, someone needs to step up and say, you know what, I'm going to be that talismanic presence up front. Could Manveer be that guy? I don't know, but I mean, if he applies himself, he has as good a shot as anyone else. And of course, to make things better, he ended up getting an assist as well, because he was the one who put in the cross for Ishan Pandita to score India's 4th goal. Yes, 4 goals, and that was as comprehensive a performance as can be. I'm going to take some of your comments now, so let's see what is it that we are is being said. Weber Voekar says Anwar Ali is the new generation of Indian football. Yes, I remember watching Anwar Ali when he was breaking out as part of the under-17s. He was I wouldn't say he was the standout talent, but you could tell that he had something in him, and that he had the determination and application. That's something he's shown, considering he had to pretty much say, you know what, I'm going to risk that heart issue and not retire, and say that, you know what, I'm going to be playing away anyway. Love Rami points out that good convincing win for India, and what an incredible victory for England as well. So of course we're talking about the England and New Zealand test. Very, very good test match to watch that as well indeed. Chinmay asked to answer your question. They're ranked in the hundreds right now. That's not that important detail anyway. Mala asked for why Indian players don't get to play in the Premier League. It's because we're a little few notches below that standard. Maybe once we make players who are actually that good, that we would be playing in the Premier League. Madhav Garg says, when will I'm assuming you mean Chetri. He's quite old. I hope he doesn't retire. Well, Chetri did say before the qualifiers that, he's in the final stages of his career. So he is going to retire soon enough. But even at 37, the guy is a class apart. And so I agree with you. I do indeed hope that, he doesn't in fact end up retiring. So yeah, I agree with you. Not to say that he ends up retiring. Of course, he will retire, such as the way things work. But I think he can extend his career a little longer, because he's in fine shape. He's in very, very good shape. He doesn't need to worry about his fitness. Finisher's instinct hasn't ever really gone away from him. And Sankalp Sahu says he had, Messi has almost 10-15 internationals game left. I'm a big Messi fan, but I want Chetri to finish with more goals than Messi. Hope Sunil plays more matches in the next 2 years and finishes them. I'm not sure if he will finish over Messi, Ronaldo, but I mean, definitely could be up there in that list. Because we know that Ronaldo is the top goal scorer in international football. Messi is currently, if I'm not wrong, 3rd on the list, if not or 4th. Either way. So, but I think it would be a good goal for someone like Chetri to say, you know what, I'm going to finish with more international goals than Messi. So, and knowing Chetri is a pretty competitive chap, he wants to score goals, he loves scoring goals. So, wouldn't entirely shock me in that sense if he actually did end up finishing with more goals. That being said, we can't compare the two players. We know that the opposition, or the quality of opposition that Messi faces, given European nations and South American nations, much higher than the opposition that Chetri does. But takes nothing away from just how impressive Chetri's record is at international level. It's absolutely phenomenal. And that's the end of the, of course, qualifying campaign for India. They had already sealed their deal in terms of making it to the AFC Asian Cup. It's the first time in history they'll be making it on two, back-to-back occasions. So that's another thing that Indian football fans should be very happy about. But of course, you always want to be playing and winning more games. You want to be getting a top spot in that group, even though, you've already qualified, doesn't matter. And it's great to see that India played 3 matches, won 3 matches, and generally speaking, there was a fear among a certain section of Indian football fans that these are small teams, and India do sometimes tend to trip up against smaller teams. So there was a worry, but 2-0, 2-1, 4-0. Very, very comprehensive, and I'm very happy and pleased with the fact that the Indian football team managed to in fact seal their qualification in such effortless fashion. I'm very, very excited as to when exactly the AFC Asian Cup takes place. We don't quite know that yet because, there's been no official rescheduling as such. We just know that it has been rescheduled. So when that happens, I would hope that India can get a little bit of a luck of the draw, get an easier group, maybe make it to the knockouts. Who knows? We'll see. Either way, it's a good time to be an Indian football fan, especially considering how well the youngsters were playing in this game. And with that, I'm going to bring an end to this particular video. Thank you all so much for joining us. If you do enjoy what it is that we do, Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave us a comment, all that good stuff. And if any of you are interested in my thoughts on the India-South Africa game that also ended up finishing at more or less the same time, well, I'm going to be joining the lads in the studio in about a few minutes. And when I say a few minutes, I mean as quickly as my feet can get me downstairs. So see you all right now. Good night. Bye-bye. See you on the other stream.